one is good for the young. We can deal with this one. We are here. Don't think that we are given up. This country will not go down when we are still alive. Are you with me on that? Yes. There's a point I'm going to make on that. So let me go now to what's concluding, because we covered the essential part of my presentation. We look at the levels of corruption. We've talked about the three levels: the primary at service point, the secondary at societal and institutional level, tertiary at the macro level, the Eurobonds and the KRAs, and all those national mega level of corruption. Brother Elias spoke about the forms and types, and the study of corruption is quite wide now. You will see that we talk about bribery, improper influence, which is lobbying, nepotism, misappropriation of public funds or other resources, which is also called fraud and embezzlement. And then the types: transactive, which Brother Elias spoke about, extortive, defensive, even investive. You are giving people money today because you are planning for the election that is coming. Are you with me now? Yes, so you are bribing in advance so that you soften the ground, so that when you are taking things away, the people will not quarrel too much. After all, this is somebody who is very close to us. Then there's the supply versus demand typology, grand versus petty, conventional versus unconventional, and then public versus private. And remember, even in private, there is corruption because there are people in private companies, private organizations, who abuse authority for private gain. NGO directors. By the way, NGO directors, pastors and their wives. Do you know what I'm talking about? You don't have an idea. You leave it to me. I have done 8 strategic plans for churches in this year. When the 9th one came, I said I don't want to do this work. Yes, everything is registered in my name and my wife and my sons. And then we borrow 25 million. Then we build in one of these leafy places. Then the church has to pay for the loans every Sunday, every conference, everything for 20 years. There is no worse corruption than what I have seen in churches. That is why they find me very natural to work with. I suspect that this is the reason why Dantari asked me to be the speaker this morning, because I know very few of you can say the things I'm saying here. Although you know that what I'm saying is the truth. Isn't it? Because I'm Reverend Joya's son, and Reverend Joya told me that he gave it to me, he has given me authority to say these things, which nobody else can say. So I have remained true to the mandate. So, the main causes are here. Even if I had this conversation now, I have achieved what I needed to achieve. The main causes of corruption. Look at the last one, that is the main one. And it is not written in any textbooks and research reports. The lack of a movement for integrity or a movement against corruption. We lack movements. There is no movement. So the Catholic Church asks me and Dr. Mokua to design an anti-corruption strategy. Catholic Church with Simon here and a few of us, and we put something together, we choose colors, and the bishops are out there saying corruption is a path to death, isn't it? Transparency International is not involved in that.
Okay? ESCC is not part of that. Okay? Political parties are not part of that. So and so is not part of it. It is the Catholic Church initiative, to speak against corruption. Then Transparency International is busy, and the director will be here tomorrow. They are busy now publishing their corruption index. Then somebody else is doing something about ESCC. Then somebody else. Let me tell you, we are. I can't say some of these things. It may take me somewhere for prosecution. So I'll keep it that way. We are the people who are responsible for the fertilization and proliferation of corruption in Kenya. Not the politicians, it is us. It is us. Because we have refused to build a movement. We have refused to build a movement. Professor Cloud Ake, Nigerian, he died in an air crash in 1996. One of the brightest political scientists on the continent. The one who talks about politics and society and how citizens are responsible for outcomes. But for purposes of mention, some of the concepts that have been given is levels of public sector wages, which comes from privatization of public goods. In the 70s and 80s and 90s, people never used to be paid a lot of money. Reverend, you know that. People never used to be paid money. Why did the money satisfy families? Because families used to have 8 services that were provided and subsidized by government. I've told you about Kenya Bus. They have government houses, Onyonka, Ngei, I don't know what, Jerusalem, Bahati, whatever. There was public housing, subsidized housing. There was water, there was electricity, there was schools where people used to be given milk, and in the university people were given food. There was a functioning healthcare system. So even if you got 17,000 shillings, that was only to pay to buy food and clothes. Professor Gumbe is an engineer, is a professor of engineering, and they used to drink at Serena. The second week they used to drink at 680. The third week they used to drink after Tomboy. But drinking, they used to drink. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. Because on top of that, they used to import Mercedes Benzes without paying what? Duty. Is that true or not? So when public goods are functioning, low salaries do not become a factor of corruption. This becomes a problem when you have privatized everything in the country because of the neoliberal edict that imperialism pushes. Please read about bureaucratic red tape, like what the passports is doing down there in Nyayo. Low risk of detection and punishment under the David Oginde regime at ESCC. Weak cultural and family values and our understanding of success, because success has really been redefined. Lack of political will to fight corruption, including the bad examples set by the leaders, and of course I've said the biggest problem is the lack of a movement for integrity, which is why this conference should consider that very strongly. The consequences of corruption are there. Please discuss it when Dr. shares with you the slides. Allow me to just talk about the last part of this slide. The victims of corruption feel discouraged. Some, like those who have not paid their pending bills in county and national governments, amounting to 900 billion shillings pending bills. I have done a survey in 6 counties, and I have seen the problem of pending bills on families. It is bad. The consequences of corruption in a country are economic, they are political, they are social, their environmental, talented people, and how they die with their talents in Kenya, never to fulfill their potential. How Luos never rise in the military. I told you that I'm the only one who has license to say this thing. You can't say this thing. And what that has done to this country. Yeah, I went to school in Nyanza, which was built by Tom Boyer when he was only 29 years. And from admission in Form 1, the road I used to that school told me that this place is an abandoned part of this country. And then I saw everything during the period I was there. Under Moi, who played football, rugby, cricket, tennis, could not go anywhere in this country. Because this football is for Luos and Luya. No, whatever they do. If we were to write about the consequences of corruption in this country, we will be shocked. Manifestations are there. Public servants demanding or taking money or favors in exchange of services, politicians misusing public money or granting public jobs, or financiers and friends and family, corporations bribing officials to get lucrative deals. I have studied the South African cases under Zuma and Praveen. That, I think, is the most blatant, system of fraud, which happens in Kenya, but in very poached terms. Court cases taking years to be concluded or being determined in favor of the highest bidder. ADP dropping cases. Do you remember those speeches at Kasarani? We will never allow for political cases. DCI will not do, I don't know, there will be no assassinations and killings. There will be, I don't know what. Did you see the list of the 38 cases that were brought immediately Ruto came to power? Beginning with the Gachagua. And everybody else, then they say, freedom has come. Freedom has come from prosecution and impunity has entered. So, ladies and gentlemen, my reverend fathers and sisters, distinguished bishops and scholars, human rights defenders, all of you who are in this conference, we now must go towards concluding by saying that a strong movement, which does not exist in Kenya, for me, will be the best thing that this conference can give our country. There is Umtata out there. There are people in the commissions, very good, well-meaning, DCR, churches, mosquitoes. There are very many Kenyans who want to stop corruption in Kenya. But there's no movement. We are not coordinated. And so institutions have been intimidated by the president. Judges are even being told how to determine the cases. Everybody has been intimidated, coerced. And I ask people, nini mnaogopa huyu mtu ako na nini? Atawafanyia nini? Unaona wanaume wazima wanajificha hivi. Ati wasionekane na. Sasa Ruto siajue kwamba mmekataa ufisadi. Na atawa. Amia, what has happened to you? Even if you want to be like me now, you think my children will not go to school and they become successful in life? Why do people fear things? Ati, mimi kuna watoto wadogo. what will happen to your children? Eh? You think if you die, your children will die? They will not die. Are you with me so far? At another day, will take care of them. Isn't it? Or I don't know why now Simon is looking out. So, in the movement, these approaches, take one of these approaches and be strong in that area. Compliance-based approaches, risk management approaches, that's what Brother Lars was talking about in the morning. Awareness and participation approaches. You can do one of these things. You can do awareness, strengthen social audit somewhere. Others can be able to do name and shaming. Others can be able to do information on services. Others can do risk management, prosecution, ICT, automation of services. We can do something in this country if we are a movement that wants to establish our country as a value-based Hutu country. May God bless you so much.
Was that what you are trying?
Yeah.